The car was even celebrating.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got another round of mods happening on the Red Turd sleeper build, and I'm gonna take you guys along with us. We got a whole lot of work to do, so it's time to get back to work in the garage. And right now, it is absolutely frigid for us Georgia people. Look at this. It's currently 36 degrees. I'm not built for this. This is miserable. But we got tons of work to do. We got a bomb that has gone off in the garage, a complete bomb. We got transmission stuff everywhere, clutch transmission stuff. We got some fresh packages that are full of parts to put on this thing that we're gonna go through a little bit later. But for right now, I gotta put a clutch together. We gotta put a flywheel back on it and get the transmission back in there and get this car ready to go. So earlier during the week, I went and took this and got this completely resurfaced. So we are ready to throw the clutch on the car, this brand new Clutch Masters unit that I got from showsource.com. I'm not gonna show a whole lot of it, but I am gonna get this thrown on the car, get the clutch on the car so we can start putting the transmission back together. Let's do it. All right, guys, we got the Clutch Masters clutch all buttoned up under here. One awesome trick for you guys, if you ever have a broken transmission, don't throw the thing away. This is an input shaft from a broken transmission that I broke years ago. This is the perfect clutch alignment tool because there is nothing better than an alignment tool than the actual input shaft. These little dinky plastic things, like, just throw these things away. Get yourself an actual input shaft and you will have no problem ever getting your clutch disc lined up. Well, guys, I'm breathing really heavily because I am extremely out of shape, but I manhandled that transmission back in there. So what you guys didn't get to see after my GoPro died was that I was saying is we got factory motor mounts here. They got a bunch of nasty soft rubber in it that's not going to be able to hold this thing still. And plus, we also had to do a little bit of clearancing right here for the new long tubes. So I'm gonna burn all the rubber out of this thing. We're gonna weld this thing up solid. That way we have a nice, tight, solid motor for when we throw a bunch of power at this thing. Well, guys, fast forward just a little bit. It's already dark outside, so I figured I would start using the race car to mock up this new solid front motor mount where I got some square tubing already cut. Hopefully, you can't really see this, but this down here, we're going to take this square tubing, we're going to put it on both sides of this motor mount, box it all in and weld it solid. I'm a little bit worried that the motor mount position might be a little bit different, so we may end up having some fitment issues with it going onto the red car, but hopefully it's nothing too crazy. So I got these all tacked up in place. Now you can kind of see how I plan on doing this solid motor mount. What we're going to end up doing is putting, we got these two 1x1 square tubing, and then we're going to put also another one in the center of this running that way, and then box it all in with the MIG welder. Won't look too pretty, but that motor ain't going to go anywhere. Now, guys, don't criticize me on these MIG welds because this is not pretty, but I've done it and it works good, so we're sending it. Look at that, she's still steaming, boys. I know it does not look good at all. It is a giant MIG welded mess, but I promise you, this thing ain't going anywhere. So, showing off my bubblegum welding abilities, we got a fully solid steel motor mount. Hopefully this thing fits because Last night I jigged it up on the race car, and the subframe is a little bit different, but it is the same motor mount, so hopefully everything fits there and we don't have to fight that later. But now I gotta get the subframe back under the car. We already got the transmission in. And hopefully by the end of this video, things starts, runs, and drives again. Guys, have been rocking and rolling over here. Like I said, I ain't gonna be picking up the camera too much, but got the subframe all back in. The only thing we gotta do is get the transmission mount bolted up to the transmission. Engine and transmission be bolted all in there. And really, we don't have a whole lot much more left. As in my last videos, I did say that the suspension was just completely rusted. And I didn't feel comfortable with its performing capabilities. So I hit up two of my really good friends at the exact same time to get a good suspension, or at least a decent suspension for this car. Because we're not going to be drag racing. We need to take corners if we're gonna be outrunning any kind of police officers or anything that's gonna be pursuing us, right? So I hit up Tim, the tool man from the show forum, and also one of my really good friends, Evan from Washington State. And they both sent me suspensions, so I have multiple options now. I'm pretty sure I'm leaning towards this option, which I'm gonna unbox first, so let's get to it. There we go. That's right, we got a full set of coilovers. Right here is a set of ground control coilovers with Coney adjustables. So in the SHO world, suspension is getting harder and harder to find. These Coney adjustables right here haven't even been available to be purchased new in the past like 6 years. So it makes them super rare if they're good. And they do seem to be pretty good. Not only are they going to be way better than what we currently had with stock Monroe struts and unknown rusted springs, but these things are gonna drop like 40 to 50 pounds, I believe, off of the car. The springs are way lighter, the shocks are a lot lighter, everything's just a lot lighter. So we are steady making progress over here. I got the coilovers all put in, looking beautiful. Axles are in. I gotta run to the store, gotta go grab some fluid, and I'm gonna fire this thing up tonight. Probably won't be running or driving, but we probably will be able to get some drivability stuff, you know, tomorrow. So stay tuned. Well, boys, fast forward through all the junk. We officially got coilovers on the sleeper build. We still have to adjust the ride height, kind of corner balance the car, but check it out, man. It is looking fantastic. You know what, guys? I'm gonna send it. I've already filmed an outro, but I'm dying to freaking drive this car. I'm sure the alignment's all kinds of whacked, but I have to drive this thing to kind of feel what's happened. We've done so much to the car, so let's do it. So just to recap everything that we've changed since I've driven this thing, we first did the ASP long tube headers, which currently right now we are open tube headers. I haven't had time to finish the exhaust. We put a Clutch Masters stage 2 clutch, I believe. Stage clutch. It's a single disc clutch, but for a street clutch, it's super smooth. I got the welded front solid motor mount. We have the ground control coilovers on all 4 corners. Yeah, I think that's about it. Ooh, Corvette.
all ones they do have now are automatics.
Is that crushed enough Taurus to make them worth more money?
I mean, we made jokes a decade ago about Zach used the last show's transmission or whatever. Now there's just no left. You have to get HD gear sets and fucking...
Alright, so what do you think?
I think it does pretty good. I think it's a healthy motor. I think what you built it to do is going to do, and it drives good. I mean, you got all the bugs worked out. The headers sound great. I think we're going to do it, man.
So, like, what you just felt, how much wheel horsepower? What do you think? When we put it back on the dyno, what it's going to make?
It's going to make factory Taurus SHO horsepower numbers in 1995.
But except this time at wheel horsepower. Because it makes 220 crank.
Sure, yeah.
So it makes 220 wheel.
220 wheel, and I'm going to say, I bet you it makes even torque.
Even torque.
Even torque. Like, you made right 200 wheel last time?
It made 207 foot-pounds.
So I thought it was right there at the horsepower before. It's going to be pretty close.
Well, I'll go ahead and make my guess. I think it's going to be 223 wheel horsepower and 214 foot-pounds.
That's pretty fair. That's pretty close.
Yep. Well, guys, as I'm coasting home, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm pulling into the house right now. But on the next episode, we're going to be doing a lot of crazy things with this thing. Catch you later.